Hey guys, Adam here. Sitting down the beach in Byron. Just been for a bit of a wave and got absolutely smashed. First one in a while and got absolutely belted in the water, but all good. And just thought I'd share this, a bit of a reflection, because we've got coming up this little workshop we've got going. There's a bunch of guys turning up and we're exploring the idea of growing a business 10 times, and where do you find this strategy to grow a business beyond being reliant upon yourself. And I'm not an expert in that, because I've been having to go at that for a long time and not necessarily achieved it to the extent a lot of other people have. But what I've learned along the way, and as I'm still in the process, is a couple of things. And the reflection, I guess, is that a lot of guys, and myself included over the years, the reality is we're in business, but we actually don't enjoy it. We're not really having a good time in doing it. We tend to, and we might enjoy it when we're winning, we enjoy it when we're making money and it's all going well, but when it's not going well, we have a shit time. So we're not really enjoying the entire process. We're enjoying the win, but not necessarily enjoying the process. So, if you're winning right now, this may not be relevant to you. If you're having a hard time, it certainly is relevant. If you're sort of sitting in the middle going, well, you're about to start something or grow a business, or considering throwing yourself into it further, this is really relevant to you. So a lot of guys will work from the position of fear, getting away from what they don't want, and that's pretty relevant. Everyone at different points, getting out of debt, getting away from a job, getting the bank off your back, all these kind of things. There's this amount of fear of, like, fuck, I've got to get away from this. So we're driven by this sense of getting away from something, or escaping fear, or nullifying fear, or even just discomfort, around having debt, or even, discomfort around having a job you don't want. And just getting away from something is not necessarily a good motivator, because you can get away from it, but you sort of carry a lot of your fear into the new thing, and you're not making a very rational or even a very even decision necessarily. And then on the other hand, the guys that are doing well, and this really applies to a lot of alpha type blokes, and there's a lot of successful guys in this group I know, but they'll go out and be kicking goals and making money and all going well. And what happens is they get kind of caught up in their identity of achieving and being successful becomes who they are and what they're about. And that's sort of being driven by ego more than it is driven by joy or fun or anything that sort of has a more positive slant on it. And that's okay, but it's not where I want to be growing from anymore. I don't want to work from that position where I'm just driven by my own ego or need to show off or have the right car or the right size business, because I think that's what I should be doing. Because quite honestly, that just fucking wears you out. It's a bucket you're never going to fill up. And some of you know what that feels like. If you've been trying to fill that bucket up for a few years now, you've got to stop every now and then and go, well, you know what? No matter how many cars I have, much money I have, what I do, it's never going to feel any different. I'm still going to be, relying on the next win or the next big paycheck to make me feel, like a man almost. So, where does that leave you? It's neither of those positions. Getting out of fear or working to your ego or working to some sort of identity crisis is not actually building or creating a business from joy. And I don't want to sit here and say, go build your business 10 times over, just to have more of either of those. So, what we're aiming for here is to come from like a 0 point, a point of neutrality, where you can build a business where you're not trying to feed your ego, you're not just getting out of pain or out of fear or away from something, you're not just trying to prove something to the world so that you become valid in the eyes of people you don't even know anyway, but you're actually building and growing a business from the point of view of, dare I say it, fun, joy, excitement, and because it's a great expression of who you are. Now that might sound like a bunch of hippie bullshit to some of you, and that's cool, but I'm at a point in my life personally where that's the only place I want to build a business from. I mean, if I'm doing anything less than that, it's kind of pointless. Beyond the basic levels of survival, sure, all right? So if we can explore the emotional minefield that goes around getting away from pain, getting away from fear, explore the emotional drivers that lead us into wanting to achieve more, to sort of validate and tell everyone who we are and show off to the world, and filling that endless bucket, then if you can explore that and unravel it and come back to some level of neutrality and 0 point, you do have the opportunity then to build a business that is joyful, fun, ultimately incredibly fulfilling, and a really something you'll be entirely happy to run and proud of. Anyway, that's the theory. I've experimented with it a number of times, and I've found it's an evolving thing. My next evolution is going to be an interesting one. I'll be sharing it with you as you go, but it's all part of this process. So I'm going to give you a quick surf report from here. I'm going to turn the camera around. And that's the Byron Bay surf today. That's at the pass at Byron. You can sort of see the lighthouse up there somewhere, I think. And as you can't see the lighthouse, you can see the pass. It might not look like much from here, but when I was out there, it felt big, and it all actually broke my board today. I got a slightly snapped in 2 mal, which I should have been on a short board, but I'm a mal boy. Anyhow, guys, I hope that's of use. And if you're coming to the workshop, this is a must reflection. You must do reflection before we turn up. This is the one we're going to explore. So look forward to seeing you soon.